Good morning, YouTube and April.
Yes.
April, if you were the third richest person in the
I
world.
could be men.
No, you don't know. Say woman.
That'd be fun.
But if you were the
for a
third
day.
richest person in the world, what would you do with that money?
I would buy you a fleet of gullwings.
That would be wonderful.
Satisfy you. Make you happy.
I would be very satisfied without the gold wings, but or I am. But
Yes.
if I were the third richest man in the world, I would be living on my own island. Oh wait, that doesn't sound good. I would have my own place with my own. You can't have your own island anymore. That's the sucky thing about being rich. There's like a stigma now of having an island, like you own your own island, and they assume that you're doing dastardly things on your island. But I would have one just to have my own racetrack on the island, or around the volcano, like making my own Mario Kart type thing.
That's a good idea.
With all the cars I want, they bring in my food. I don't have to deal with people.
Right. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You could make that in Kansas.
Well,
buy enough land and dig a moat.
Zuckerberg doesn't want his own volcano island Mario Kart track. He wants to continue living with people, even though he's very obsessed with the metaverse and thinking people that were wanting to like transition to a virtual world. You know, he's kind of shut up about that in the last year and just gotten back to work, getting the most out of Facebook possible.
Right.
And he's increased his wealth to passing a lot of people to be the third richest man in the world. But
crazy.
What he does in his free time is commission West Coast customs for his wife, a custom minivan.
Yes.
Sorry, it took a long time for us to get to this, but the minivan in question started as a Cayenne.
Wait, it's a minivan.
It's a Cayenne
It's a minivan.
that has been stretched into a minivan.
It's a minivan.
It has sliding doors.
Yes.
So his wife said that I want a minivan, and
Yes.
Zuck was just like, I can't do this. Which
They're good. They're practical if you have kids. They're easy to get in and out of.
So he commissions West Coast Customs of Pimp My Ride fame to make a Cayenne into a minivan with 2 sliding doors. And I gotta say, I don't hate it.
I thought you were going to hate it.
I don't.
I was ready for you to tell me I'm an idiot and what's wrong with me. That's ugly. And the most hideous thing you've ever seen.
They lowered it too. It looks pretty good. They managed to get the roof line right, which is kind of surprising because it kind of swoops down. I'm somewhat impressed because I have first-hand experience with the Pimp My Ride vehicle. I had the van.
Is that the pink, the bright pink one?
Pink and purple one that Freddie gave me.
Yeah.
And they did their own custom sort of sliding doors that were power operated in that one. It was very crude. It was very stupid. It was very poorly put together. Let's just say they replaced all the interior with denim because this person liked denim, and she liked making jewelry, so they had like a bead station to make her own jewelry and things, and had a ottoman for which was a television at the same time. Which why would you want to watch TV and have an ottoman? Because your feet are.
Why wouldn't you?
A glowing floor.
That sounds magical. Where is this car right now?
It is at the Peterson Museum in Los Angeles.
No, it's not.
I kept it for I think 2 years.
It's in a museum?
Yes, I kept it for 2 years, and then I gave it back to Freddie, and he did a video saying the van got abandoned again, so I fixed it. Which I didn't abandon the van. I had it in storage. Like, what am I going to do with a Pimp My Ride? It was a wonderful gift, but like, I'm not going to daily drive a Dodge Caravan.
I didn't abandon it.
It was stored. It was preserved.
Right.
I put it in a museum here in Kansas, and it was there for a year.
Yeah.
And then it fell off the trailer when I was unloading it, and I did a little bit of damage to it. And then I gave it back to Freddie so he could fix it, and then he donated it to the Peterson Museum.
What?
So that is my first-hand experience, and it was the most I think it's the most viewed video on Freddie's channel, I believe.
Really?
That or when he crashed my party burying the Range Rover.
How did it fall off the trailer?
One of the ramps fell off when I was unloading it, and it kind of crashed to the ground. So, I think that their quality of work has improved because if you watch the early Pimp My Ride episodes or the later ones, or when they switched to gas, I suppose, the cars were terrible.
Yeah.
Like there's one where they took a station wagon. The woman was a nurse.
Yeah.
And they thought they needed to make sort of a ambulance out of this station wagon that she had, and they put like so she only had the front seats, and then in the back they made it look like that you were going in for a CT scan. It looked like they had
the whole
very spaceshipy.
MRI, right?
Which Why? Well, it's already a claustrophobic
Because
thing.
you're
Weird.
talking about it.
There's
Even now,
so
it's
many
interesting,
weird
and that was
things,
the whole point of the
stupid
show.
things. But yeah, this one, it's all pretty wholesome and kind of funny because he films his wife's reaction and all that stuff. But then also, just to give him some cred, he wanted to do a his and hers, so he has a matching GT3 Touring and a manual transmission to match it. So he can drive that to work and she can have her Cayenne minivan.
And, you know, not that I'm judgy, but I'm so judgy, and I feel like that's like a real car guy's type of car. You know, like you really need to know how to drive to handle something like that. So I appreciate it. The colors of them, it's like that super trendy, muted, neutral color, which, you know, I'm not fully on board with. It's like a trend that's going to go out. But I think it's really cool, really sweet, really romantic. I love the minivan.
I dig it.
I would support that.
I would take both.
That's really sweet. I wasn't crazy about Zuck, but now I'm kind of rethinking it.
I like Zuck. He's seeming less to be like an alien or whatever, or like, you know, somebody snatched his body or something that people say. But back to West Coast Customs and doing things for celebrities. Like the celebrities, and I'm coming from, not that I'm a celebrity, but I have some bad taste, and I've done some really bad, questionable choices with cars. So I know I've done some stupid things. But celebrities, there's some really bad ones, and I thought I'd just look up. A lot of them were done at West Coast Customs. So the first one that pops up on this list is John Cena's Incinerator, which he puts his name in there, CENA. And it's based on a Corvette C4, and this is a picture of it from
it's a good name.
Gumball.
And that's where it stops being cool.
And apparently it's the stock like Corvette drivetrain in it, which is it's really bad. But Will.i.am has some really bad ones. This one,
I mean, I could see him driving this.
It's based on a 1958 VW Beetle, and
That
they
does not
say
look like it.
that it took 4 years and probably about $900,000 to make it, which I have a hard time believing because it is a hideous kind of pre-war, big fender-looking thing.
It almost looks like it's the clay before the car.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't look like an actual car with actual like metal and what you would need in a car. It just looks like a fake cardboard something.
Maybe if it wasn't matte finish, if it was like black to where they could really showcase the work.
Like it almost looks like, you know, have you ever seen like, is it a cake or is it real? And they make cakes out of objects and they cut into it. Like that's what I'm envisioning this car to be.
This is the one that really did it for me though. Is Kim Kardashian's Lamborghini Urus, and it's Lamb, like Mary had a little Lamborghini Urus, and so she put faux lamb's wool everywhere. On the outside, on the inside, on the steering wheel.
I mean, it's not going to function as covering up the whole front end.
It probably overheats the car. The headlights are still showing. The taillights are still showing. Everything else is lamb. And it looks like the mutt cuts from Dumb and Dumber. People are posting the comparisons. I remember when it came out, people were posting the comparisons. But it's got to be one of the dumbest custom things I've ever seen.
That's the dumb, because there's been much worse things.
That's a dumb one.
Like your hot pink minivan.
That was a bad one. Will.i.am did this to a DeLorean.
That is not a DeLorean.
So he was the one who did that kind of blue pastel thing. But it was a DeLorean. The doors still go up like a DeLorean, but everything else has been totally customized to where it looks like some terrible kit car.
It does. It looks absolutely like a kit car, but that's obviously his thing. He likes things not to look genuine and real, maybe. I don't know.
There's another list on MSN, and I feel like this one was written by AI.
Yeah.
So it's not really matching up to things, but there's some interesting cars in here. This JoJo Siwa, she posts her face and her name on every single car she has, and it's always like a crazy, silly rap. But what do you think of a leopard print R8 from?
Yes.
Okay, you're a believer, so Justin Bieber's R8 works for you.
I'm not a believer, but that is cool.
Yep. Here's an ad for 20% off Korean skin therapy.
Okay. I mean, what's in your search history? What are you
doing
over there?
I don't know. But yeah, like Flowrider.
That's amazing.
Flowrida, sorry. Bugatti Veyron, just all gold.
I could see that.
Why not?
Yeah, that seems like a good wrap.
Why not? But I'm trying to go for customs here, and it kind of jumps around. But once again, this is just like some clickbait generator AI written thing, so I do have to sort of... I'm saving you the time and all the ads to be able to see this. But like they have Deadmau 5's Ferrari 458 Spider is what they say. But it is not a Spider. It's not a Ferrari. It's a Lamborghini Huracan where he put the rainbow farting cat thing. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
There's
How much is a custom wrap, do you think?
Oh, they can be as cheap as like $2 or $3 grand, or
That's
way
a lot.
more.
That's more
you know,
than I
15
thought.
grand plus. It depends on the car and the material. So like, it's funny because they had Birdman and a red Veyron here, which Ed Bollion's Veyron, which is red. I think it was formerly owned by Birdman, but it was.
So that could be the actual one.
No, that's because that one's not.
Oh yeah,
not
super.
The convertible one.
Yeah.
The Grand Sport.
Grand Sport, yeah.
But it's Lil Uzi Vert that stole his key, or made it into a necklace. Because he didn't steal it, because it was his car that he made into the necklace. But I think the last dumb one on here is Dennis Rodman's H1, which he put a wrap on it, and it's like, I don't know, medieval nudes all down the side. So he's forcing nudity on everybody else as he drives down the road, and it's very odd.
Not something like, if you go overseas in Europe, they're more okay with nudity, and here in America, we're like, oh no, like he's expressing himself, right?
Right. They end it with Hulk Hogan's Dodge Viper, where
Right.
he did the red and the yellow with it, which
It's very Hulk Hogan.
it's cool.
There's no way he fits in that Viper,
I saw that when he did that in like 1995 and thought he was the coolest man alive. So leave Hulk Hogan alone, brother. Listen, I guess.
You watched?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
it?
wrestling. But I guess, because he went political and people aren't liking it right now. But
I didn't know that.
I'm trying to not think of. I just think of Hulk Hogan back in the day.
Yeah.
Brother, he's.
That's cool. That's him. That's right up his alley.
I would own one of those.
I don't think he could
Drive
fit
it.
in it and drive it though.
He fit.
There's not a lot of room in there.
Thank you so much for watching.
Is Ed gonna get his key back? Do you think?
From Little Uzi Vert.
Yeah. Like, what does he got to do to get it back?
Ask Diddy.